It was an ordinary day in Luísa's life. A psychologist for over 10 years, she dedicated herself to treating patients with emotional disorders and had always sought to help people find balance and well-being. However, she could never have imagined that within days, her life would change drastically, leading her to an experience that would challenge everything she believed to be reality. It all started with an unexpected discomfort. Luísa's body began showing signs that something was not right. First, a slight fatigue, then a fever that seemed relentless. Initially, she thought it was just a cold or a passing virus, but the symptoms quickly worsened. Her temperature rose, she felt intense chills and a crushing headache. Struggling to stay on her feet, she sought medical attention. At the hospital, tests revealed something alarming. A highly aggressive bacterium had invaded her bloodstream and was causing a widespread infection. Her condition was rapidly deteriorating, and before she could process the gravity of the situation, she was induced into a coma in an attempt to contain the infection. That was when something extraordinary happened. Luísa found herself floating above her own body. She could see the doctors and nurses around her, moving frantically, trying to stabilize her. She could clearly hear their conversations, the technical terms, the sound of the machines. The feeling was one of inexplicable peace, as if she had been freed from a burden she had never realized she was carrying. However, the most astonishing part came next. A tunnel of light appeared before her, radiating a welcoming energy. Without resistance, she was drawn into this luminous path. As she passed through, she found herself in a place of indescribable beauty. The environment was composed of colors she had never seen on Earth, vivid, pulsating hues that seemed to emanate life. There was a soft melody, almost like a harmonious whisper, that filled everything around her. The feeling she experienced was one of absolute love, a deep connection with something greater. Suddenly, she became aware of the presence of luminous beings around her. They did not have a completely defined form, but were enveloped in an intense light and radiated a sense of unconditional love and infinite wisdom. One of them moved closer and, without using words, communicated directly with her mind. It told her that it was not her time, that she still had much to accomplish on the earthly plane. It showed her scenes from her life, moments from her childhood, encounters she had forgotten, choices that had led her to that moment. It was like watching a movie, but from an expanded perspective, where she understood every detail and the emotions involved in each scene. Luísa tried to argue. The place she was in was so wonderful that she did not want to leave. She felt free from all worries, from all anguish. But the beings made it clear that her mission was not yet complete. Then, they showed her glimpses of the future people who would need her, decisive moments that were yet to come. She then understood that her journey on Earth was not over. In an instant, she felt herself being pulled back. A dizzying speed took hold of her ethereal body, and in the blink of an eye, she opened her eyes in the hospital bed. She felt weak, but she was alive. The doctors said her recovery was miraculous. The infection that had threatened her life regressed unexpectedly, and within a few days, she could breathe without the aid of machines. The experience completely transformed Luísa. As a psychologist, she had always had a scientific approach, based on reason and the logical analysis of facts. But what she experienced during the coma defied all conventional explanations. She began to study near-death experiences in depth and discovered that countless accounts from around the world describe similar sensations. The tunnel of light, the feeling of peace, communication with higher beings. The life review, these elements were present in different cultures and time periods, as if they were part of a universal truth that humanity has yet to fully understand. Moreover, her perception of life changed. She began to cherish each moment more intensely, seeing the connections between people on a deeper level. Helping others became more than just a profession, it became her mission. Sharing her story became a way to bring comfort and hope to those who feared death. Because now, she knew that death was not the end. It was merely a passage to something greater, something infinitely beautiful and welcoming. In the months that followed, Luísa started noticing subtle changes within herself. Her intuition became sharper. She could perceive people's feelings and thoughts with astonishing clarity. She dreamed of messages that often provided answers to dilemmas she had never shared with anyone. More than that, she felt a special connection with the world around her, as if everything was interconnected by an invisible yet profoundly real energy. Skeptics tried to explain her experience as a hallucination caused by a lack of oxygen to the brain. As a psychologist, she understood these arguments. But deep down, she knew that what she had lived through was real in a way that transcended conventional logic. The details, the sensations, the clarity of the experience, everything was too vivid to be merely a product of a struggling mind. Over time, she accepted that not everything needs an immediate scientific explanation. Some things simply are, and regardless of what others believed, she knew what she had seen, felt, and learned. Death was not something to be feared, but something to be understood. And Lithia, life was a precious gift meant to be lived with fullness, love, and gratitude. And so, Ana Luisa continued her journey transformed, renewed, and with the certainty that there's far more between heaven and earth than we can ever imagine.